On the third day of Applemas my Tim Cook gave to me, I'm gonna stop singing now. Sorry, I had to do that. I know how terrible it was, but AirPods 2 are out. It is now official, not just the wireless charging case, but there are actual internal upgrades, spec bumps for the actual AirPods themselves, not just the charging case. So we've got a lot to talk about today in the third website refresh of the week, and might I just add, this is awesome. This is like my favorite way to get new hardware from Apple, like have it kind of spread out throughout the week so that every day in the morning we all get to kind of theorize what's going to happen. We thought an iPod was dropping this morning, but I honestly am much happier with AirPods because those I use regularly and I don't need an iPod. But sorry out there if you were really hoping for an iPod. I hate to disappoint you, but the new AirPods are pretty dang awesome. So let's talk about today's launch. First thing we need to talk about before we get into the AirPods themselves, Tim Cook legit announced these things with a meme. Dude, Tim Cook is totally embracing the memes about him, and I love it. It started with Trump calling him Tim Apple, and then he changed his Twitter name to Tim Apple. That was amazing. And then when he tweeted out that picture of him using the iPad mini with the Apple Pencil, everyone turned that into a meme. Rightfully so. He was kind of asking for it. And now, right before the AirPods 2 launched, he tweeted out this picture. This is legit. This is not edited. This is actually Tim Cook's Twitter. He tweeted a picture of him drawing the AirPods 2 on his iPad mini, except clearly he didn't draw it. It's just some blueprint design, but he just photoshopped it on there and tweeted that out like right before the AirPods launched. When I first saw the image, I swore it was a meme. I thought someone had made it up, but then I looked it up on Twitter and went, oh my God, Tim Cook actually tweeted that. But anyway, I just wanted to say Tim Cook is awesome and I love him for embracing meme culture and kind of running with it. Can we get more product announcements this way in the future? We still got Thursday and Friday left as work days in the week, so perhaps we're going to be getting more website refreshes tomorrow and the next day. But yeah, anyway, getting into the AirPods themselves. Obviously, the wireless charging case is now available and it doesn't need air power, which we'll get into later. It works with any Qi supported charger, which is excellent. A ton of us already have wireless chargers that are Qi supportive. I definitely have a ton, and one of the main reasons I loved Galaxy Buds over AirPods is their wireless charging capability, and now AirPods have that too. There are multiple ways you can get the wireless charging case as well. You can get them with the new AirPods 2, which like I said, do have enhancements over last generation AirPods, which have been completely stripped from the site. But yeah, if you want the new AirPods 2 with the wireless charge case, that's a $200 purchase now. So $40 increase for that charge case plus the new generation AirPods. But if you don't care that much about wireless charging and you still want to buy AirPods, their starting price still sits at $160. That didn't change, but for that $160, those are not first-gen AirPods. You're still getting the second-generation version of them, just without that wireless supported case. Now, if you're curious what they changed with the pods themselves, it's mostly improvements in battery life and latency. So Apple says they increased the talk time on AirPods by 50%, which is pretty drastic, and I think is great because first-generation AirPods talk time was not very good. When we do our Talos of Tech podcast, which is available on SoundCloud and Google Podcasts and whatever, we all talk via iPads and with our AirPods plugged in, and usually those podcasts last about an hour, and typically by the end of the podcast my AirPods are near dead. They need to charge by the end of it, and talk time is typically just a little bit over an hour for the first generation AirPods. So now Apple's saying talk time has been improved to 3 hours on their site. I'm sure real life usage may vary a little bit, but still 3 hours is much better and going to be easy for me to use my AirPods for phone calls and FaceTime calls like I do every single week, not have to worry about charging them after the podcast is over. Or if we want to record tech podcasts that go for 2 hours, 3 hours with our AirPods, we won't have to charge them during that entire time. So I think that's pretty amazing. No more W1 chip. They've removed that. They're now calling it an H1 chip, which I imagine stands for headphones. Maybe they decided they wanted to design the W series chip for things like Apple Watches and maybe Apple Glasses when that comes out. But maybe they wanted to make their own custom silicon chip for headphones, so we could see an H2 chip when Apple reveals over-ear headphones later in the year, maybe something like that. But yeah, these are supposed to switch between devices that you have connected to your iCloud account twice as fast as before, so switching between your iPad and your iPhone with your AirPods is going to be quicker. And they also say 30% less latency when you're playing games with AirPods. So overall latency for the second generation AirPods have been improved. They've also added the option to add engravings to your AirPods now. If you want, you can add a little custom message or put your name on it or something. hopefully that can help people not mix up whose AirPods are whose anymore. But yeah, as some people have mentioned, that can definitely kill your resale value. So before you order a pair with the custom engraving, keep in mind, if you ever plan on selling these one day, if you put, I ain't broke on there or your name on there, it's going to be a lot harder to sell those AirPods down the road. But if you don't plan on selling them and you plan on keeping them forever, go ahead, customize them, get your own engraving, put your name on there, put whatever you want on there, make it into a meme for all I care, just so you can decipher whose AirPods if you're in a social circle with a lot of people who have those. And I also deem that the first generation AirPods shall now be referred to as broke pods. The new generation with wireless charging case is $200 now. That's more expensive. Therefore, only true rich boys out there that are truly wavy are going to have the new generation AirPods. And if you got the old generation AirPods that don't support wireless charging, I don't want to hear you because you sound like broke to me. Now, I know a ton of people out there were upset because they were hoping for sound quality improvements or a black version of AirPods. I definitely am too, but I also want to remind you that the leakers that suggested black pods or, a matte finish or better bass is coming to AirPods, those leakers are saying that's coming in another release of AirPods later in the fall. So for people disappointed by the fact that we didn't get those updates today, just remember that was never expected to come in the spring. What was expected to come in the spring was just the wireless charging case. The great thing about this website refresh is that no one was really expecting the AirPods themselves to get any enhancements. All the rumors and leakers that were expecting something to happen in the spring, they were just saying wireless charging case. That's all that's going to be launched. But if leakers are accurate and things go according to plan, by the fall when the iPhone 11 and iPhone 11R and Max come out, that's when you should see the new matte finish, maybe improved sound quality, which I do have to admit is kind of close because you're launching new AirPods here and then a mere 6 months go by and you're launching new AirPods again. Makes consumers a little bit confused about when they should really upgrade. So maybe they'll push back those black version of AirPods even further, but I know a lot of you don't want that and a lot of you are holding out on those improved sound quality AirPods, maybe with better noise canceling. So yeah, it puts a lot of AirPods users in a sad place. But sadly, if you didn't want to buy AirPods just because you wanted them in a black color, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. The good news though is that if you have first generation AirPods and you don't really care about the new H1 chip, the longer talk time, you can still order the wireless charging case separately for $79. So basically $80 in the US store, which personally I didn't think was very bad. I think that's pretty affordable. That's half the price of a new pair of AirPods, and you are getting an entirely new charge case. So honestly, it's not really the Apple thing to do. In my opinion, the cliche Apple thing to do would just be, your old AirPods don't support wireless anymore. You have to spend $200 to get the wireless charge case. Sorry, better move on to the future and buy new AirPods. But no, they actually wanted to release the wireless charge case for people who have already bought AirPods, which I think is pretty nice. And for only $80, you can add wireless charging to AirPods that you already own. I think that's kind of a sweet deal. A lot of people might find that worth it if they really want wireless charging, but don't have a ton of cash to spend on whole new versions of AirPods. So hey, your first generation, it's working fine, just upgrade it. But now you're gonna have an old AirPods charge case that doesn't have wireless charging and you don't really have a charge case to dock it with, obviously. So yeah, maybe you can recycle those somewhere. Maybe you can take them back to Apple and they'll take care of them for you. I don't know. But the charge light has now been moved to the outside as Apple first teased way back in 2017 when they launched AirPower. But yeah, this update was long overdue, kind of like the rest of the updates we got this week. Apple has done nothing with the AirPods for 3 years, literally. They launched them in 2016. The prices have stayed the same, the specs have stayed the same, nothing's changed. So it's nice that finally in 2019 we're getting improvements with them. I'm fine with the sound quality of them. I know a lot of you aren't, and for a lot of people they don't fit in your ear very well, but the talk time is really important to me because I utilize AirPods talk time a lot. So the fact that these have 50% more talk time is kind of a big deal for me. So that's why I've ordered a pair, and I even got the custom engraving on mine because I don't really plan on reselling them. And for my wife, I've also ordered the $80 wireless charge case, just the case without the AirPods inside them, so that she can have wireless charging AirPods as well, and we'll be unboxing them at the end of the month, of course. The other bizarre thing, though, is the one place on Apple's website where they still had a picture of AirPower was in the AirPods section. And now, with these new AirPods, which by the way have Hello Siri support now, so you can just call out to Siri while you're wearing them and they'll go off, there's no more mention of AirPower, even though, as many YouTubers reported on yesterday, there's hints in the iOS 12.2 beta code that are suggesting that there's animations being added to the software so that you'll have to be on iOS 12.2 to get AirPower support, which means that maybe later in the week AirPower is launching. But if it is, why did they remove it from the site. Could that mean they're trying to hope we forget about it and then launch it tomorrow or the next day? I'm really excited because this beta code really points to the idea that AirPower is coming soon, and I think AirPower is kind of stupid, but I want the memes about it to die, and I just want it to come out so people can stop asking about it. So yeah, let's hope tomorrow or the next day we finally see AirPower. It just, to me, is bizarre that they wouldn't announce it with the new AirPods. Why wouldn't you launch your wireless charging AirPods with an Apple certified wireless charger? Why not? Why not release them at the same time? I don't know. Let me know what you're thinking of AirPower and the new AirPods down in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.